Let's go to page 311. This is lesson 7-2. The objective of this lesson is to solve quadratic equations by using the quadratic formula. Okay, so in the previous lesson we learned about how to complete a square. So instead of doing the complete square every time, okay, we can derive a formula and use it so that we don't have to complete a square each time. So if you start with a general equation, so ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, and so we're going to go through the steps of complete a square and come up with a formula. So first we need to move this number out of the way, so minus c on both sides. So we got ax squared plus bx equal to negative c. So again, all is the exact same step as what we did earlier in the previous lesson to complete a square. So next we have to get rid of this number, so we have to divide by a. Okay, so we got x squared plus b over a x equal to negative c over a. Then we have to get into a perfect square. So to get x squared we need to get x. Okay? And to get this we need to get half of that. Remember, this is always half of that. So it will be b over 2a. Okay? And so now, once we get these, we need to be able to get that, right? So again, from here you get that, from this you get that. So again, these are exact same step as the previous lesson. So from here, we need to, so this square will give you plus b squared over 4a squared, right? You square this, you get that. You square this, you get that. I square each part. So we have to do the same on the other side. So plus b squared over 4a squared. Okay. Then after that, you can go off to the side. So we need to get common denominator over here. So let's go and do that. Okay, so you got 4a squared, 4a squared. So from here to here, I'm missing the 4a. So I need to multiply by 4a. Okay, so on the top I get minus 4ac. Over here I get b squared. Okay, so now I can add this together. So I got x plus b over 2a squared equal to, I can put this together. I'm going to put a positive in the front. So I got b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. Okay. So to solve for x, I need to undo this. So I'm going to take the square root on both sides. Okay, and have to have plus or minus in front. So square and square will cancel out. So I get x plus b over 2a equal to plus or minus. And this one you cannot simplify, so leave the top alone. On the bottom, the square root of 4 is 2. Square root of a squared is a. Okay. Then after that, I need to get rid of this. So minus b over 2a on both sides. So x equal to negative b over 2a plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay. And now, if you notice, you have a common denominator, so you can put it together. So you're going to get negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So this is called a quadratic formula, and you get this from completing the square. So this is exactly the same step as we did in the previous lesson. So instead of trying to do the complete square, over and over for each problem, now we have the formula that we can use. So we can bypass all these steps. Okay? So let's go ahead and solve using this formula. So make sure you know your quadratic formula by heart. Okay, so let's go and solve some problems. Okay, so let's go to example 1. So you have 3x squared plus x minus 1 equal to 0. Okay. So again, instead of doing the complete square all over again, we have the formula that we can use now, right? Okay, so here's a formula that we can use. But first we need to identify the a, b, and c. So a equal to 3, b equal to 1, c equal to negative 1. Okay, so that's your a, b, c. So instead of, again, now we can bypass all these steps of completing the square. We can just go and use this formula right away. So you got x equal to negative b. So again, whatever you substitute, put in parentheses. So it's negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay. Again, write down your ABCs. You will cut down a lot of careless mistakes. And so now you can go and solve. So you got negative 1 plus or minus square root of 1 plus 12 over 6. And so x equal to negative 1 plus or minus square root of 13 over 6. And that's it. And you don't have to separate because you cannot simplify anymore. And so that's your answer. Okay. So again, this saves you all the steps of doing all the completed squares. Okay. Okay, let's go to example 2. Okay, you have 5y squared equal to 6y minus 3. Okay, so first we have to move everything to the left hand side. So minus 6y minus 6y. So this will cancel out. Plus 3 plus 3. So this will cancel out. So you got 5y squared minus 6y plus 3 equal to 0. Okay. So you can write down your ABCs. It help you to cut down a lot of mistakes when you substitute. Okay, so now since you're solving for y, be flexible with your variable. Okay, so if it's x, you solve for x. If it's y, you're going to get y equal to, again, here's your formula. So you can be flexible with your variable. So okay, so right now the variable is y, so we're going to use the y. Okay, so again, here's your formula. So it'd be negative b. So make sure you put whatever you substitute, you put in parentheses. It helps you to keep track of your negative, right? So negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Okay. Then after that, you just have to simplify. So y equal to negative and negative become positive. Okay, negative 6 squared will give you 36 minus 60. Okay. And down here would be bottom would be 10. So y equal to 6 plus or minus square root of negative 24 over 10. So y equal to 6 plus or minus square root of, let us simplify this. Okay, let's go to the side. So 24 divided by 2, you get 12, divided by 2, you get 6, divided by 2, you get 3, divided by 3, you get 1. So this will give you 2 square root of 6. So this comes out, so 2 square root of 6, and you're going to have an I, right? Square root of negative is going to be I. So make sure I is kind of big and it's outside the square root over 10. Okay? And notice all these are multiple of 2. So we can divide every term by 2. So don't just cancel this with this or this cancel with that. You have to cancel. There are 3 parts. So all 3 parts need to be reduced. So y is going to equal to 3 plus or minus square root of 6i over 5. So you can divide this by 2, divide this by 2, divide this by 2. Every part has to divide by 2. Okay? And that would be your answer. Okay? Okay, let's go to example 3. Okay, so example 3. So go and read the story and draw the picture if you have to. So over here you have a swimming pool with a walkway all the way around. The swimming pool, this is 6 and this is 10. Okay? And over here, this is the width of the pool. Okay. So it's the width all the way around. Okay, so let's W all the way around. Okay, so you can write all the way all over the place. So okay, and also it tells you that the areas are the same. So over here, the area of the pool, so area of the pool equal to 60. And over here, area of the walkway is also equal to 60 because they are equal area. Okay? So you can see that area, the total area is area total equal to 120. Okay? Well, area equal to the base times height or length times width. So in this case, if you look over here, so this is 6 and this is 2, this is W and W. So this is going to be equal to 2W plus 6, right? And if you look at over here, the overall, this is 10 and that's a W and W. So this would be 2W plus 10. So you have to kind of do a little bit of preliminary work, okay? So you got the area equal to 120, and you got the base is 2W plus 6, and the height is 2W plus 10. So you can just use base times height equal to area. Okay, so again, you have to do a little bit of work before you actually jump in and try to solve the problem. Okay, so the base, so you can do this area equal to base times height. Okay, so 120 equal to 2W plus 6 times 2W plus 10. Okay, so again, area equal to base times height, so you substitute everything in there. Okay, so let's go and multiply everything out. So 120 is equal to, so you distribute, so it would be 4W squared, right? Distribute, so it would be plus 20W, multiply, so plus 12W, multiply plus 60. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and simplify things a little bit. So 120 equal to 4W squared and plus 32W, and these are like terms, plus 60. And I'm going to make it equal to 0, so minus 120 minus 120. So I get 4W squared plus 32W minus 60. And instead of equal to 0, instead of writing equal to 0 on this, I'm going to write equal to 0. Okay, just move it over. Okay. So again, instead of writing equal to 0 this way, I'm going to write equal to 0 that way. Now, before you start to jump into solving equations, notice all these are multiple 4. Okay, so if it's an equation, you can divide everything by 4 to lower your number. Okay, so you got W squared equal to W squared plus 8W minus 15 equal to 0. Okay. Okay, so now what you want to do is you're going to use quadratic formula. Okay. Now, the factoring is quicker, it's easier, but you cannot do factoring on every problem because some problems are not factorable. Okay, quadratic you can use it for any problem, but it's more messy. Okay, so again, it kind of depends on the problem. So sometimes one method is easier than the other, and vice versa. Okay, so you got A equal to 1, B equal to 8, C equal to negative 15. Okay, so W equal to negative B, I use this formula, I use quadratic formula. So negative B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC over 2A. Okay, so W equal to negative A plus or minus square root of 64. Now this minus times minus is plus, and this will give me 60 over 2. Okay. Okay, running out of space, I'm going to start a new sheet. So continue. So W equal to negative A plus or minus square root of 124 over 2. And I'm going to try to simplify this over here. So 124 divided by 2, I get 62. Divided by 2, I get 31. And this is a prime number. Okay. Okay, so W equal to negative A plus or minus 2 square root of 31. Okay, over 2. Now to simplify again, you have to simplify all 3 parts. So divide everything by 2. So divide this by 2, I get negative 4. Okay, divide by 2, I cancel out the 2. Okay, and divide by 2 is 1. Right? So you can divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. This is what I get. Okay, but so now you have to be careful. Now W. So if you separate the 2 parts, Okay, this one is no good because negative 4 minus square root of 31 is going to give you about negative 9.57. Okay, so if you use your calculator, this is about negative 9.57. So this is going to be no good. You can have a negative. Okay. And so this one is fine because if you use your calculator, this will be approximately equal to 1.57 meters. Okay. No, don't forget your label. So it'll be meters. Okay, and so that's it. So if they ask you for exact answers, you're going to leave it this way. If they ask you for approximation, then you can use this way. So it depends on what the problem is asking for. Okay. Now, if it doesn't say, it's always safer to use the exact answer.